What is going on? Karoline Leavitt, as I mentioned in the monologue, this is the president's spokesperson.
Hakeem Jeffries is simply lashing out because he knows that I am telling the truth about the modern day Democrat Party. What I said, and it is a fact, is that the Democrat Party caters more to pro-terrorists, illegal, violent criminals, and let me walk Hakeem through the facts of that statement. Hakeem's House Democrat caucus that voted against a resolution condemning the October 7th.
You got Karoline Leavitt.
What about her?
Who's sick.
You mean strong?
He's out of control.
Unwavering?
And I'm not sure whether...
We don't care what you think.
And I'm not sure whether she's just demented.
She takes no shit.
Ignorant.
Highly intelligent, quick-witted, and will tell the truth.
A stone-cold liar.
So now we're starting a witch hunt.
All of the above.
Jeffries said the Democrats are desperate and they have nothing on Leavitt.
The Democrat Party's main constituency are made up of terrorists, illegal...
Tell the truth, shame the devil, not one lie told.
All of the above.
The truth hurts, doesn't it?
The notion that
we no longer hear you. You can't control us. So therefore, we scare you.
An official White House spokesperson would say that the Democratic Party...
We're over it.
...consists of terror criminals and undocumented. This makes no sense.
No, but it's the other way around. You make no sense. And there's nothing you can do to make us fall for it.
That this is what the American people are getting from the Trump administration in the middle of a shutdown.
Let's get honest about why we're shut down.
So their actions continue to speak for themselves?
Yes. The Democrats suck. And you're really creating hardship for the American people.
Yes. When I watch this Temu Obama, every single time I will nod my head. He's just like Obama, right? Karoline actually said something that resonated with a lot of people based on what I saw on X, people responding to the comment section. This man came to attack him. Not only him, a lot of Democrat leaders are saying, oh, Karoline should resign. She's not a press secretary, things like that. When you take a look at this, Karoline just unleashed on Hakeem Jeffries after he lost it and shamelessly insulted her. Hakeem Jeffries is simply lashing out because he knows that I'm telling the truth about the modern day Democrat Party. You can't lie. There was a resolution about what happened on October 7th. Democrats voted against them. That was just in line with what she was talking about. I don't know how this man interpreted that because it was like she hit the nerve. Reason you see them like this crying everywhere.
What is going on? Karoline Leavitt, as I mentioned in the monologue, this is the president's spokesperson. This is not just somebody at the end of the bar. Right. This is not just somebody ranting on social media. The Democratic Party's main constituency is made up of, I see where the seed of all this comes from. Just idiot college students, useful idiots who've been out there and were out there demonstrating for the wrong people. Okay, illegal. Biden had a terrible border policy. Criminals, yes, did too much of that. But the Democratic Party's main constituency, and this is what the No Kings thing is about, if people are wondering, is that it looks to me like either they really believe this, which is insane, about that.
They're not taking the Governor Schwarzenegger approach to trying to bring people together.
If you look critically, B is actually in accordance with what Karoline said. Like, that is what the Democrat Party is made up of. And see them melting down.
How f***ing dare she? Karoline Leavitt has some goddamn nerve. She isn't a press secretary. She's a wind-up mouthpiece with a pearl necklace and a persecution complex. A Barbie built in a lab for lies. Varnish over vacuum. Lipstick over rot. Yesterday, live on national television, she called millions of Americans.
Not the White House and not the Republican Party, who is standing up for law-abiding Americans, not just across the country, but around the world.
Not a mistake, a message. Incitement with a manicure. I am not a criminal. I am not an undocumented. I am an American, a mother, and a citizen, and I will not keep quiet. Don't you dare tell me that marching for democracy means I hate my country. Don't you dare call me unpatriotic, because I still believe it can be better. If you can defend a man who sent a mob to attack our Capitol, you don't love America. You love power. You love chaos. I love this country enough to fight for it. You love it like an abuser loves control. I love it like a mother who loves a wounded child. Karoline Leavitt should resign, but she won't. Shame doesn't stick to people who trade their souls for airtime. This whole regime is wrought in a flag. They don't govern, they gorge. They clutch crosses with one hand and cash with the other. They preach family values while protecting predators. They call truth treason and treason patriotism. They call us criminals to keep us quiet. But we won't shut up. We'll march, we'll vote. We'll drag democracy back from the edge by its hair if we have to. Because when you defend monsters, you become one. And if she had even a shred of a soul left rattling in that hollow chest, she'd apologize, disappear, and crawl back into the shadows where King belongs.
They always have the same talking point every single year. You know, when I see her sounding like this because of what she said, it's ridiculous. All the demonstrations throughout the country was orchestrated by these people, and now they are planning to do another one. She calling the Democrat out the way she did was something they have been doing for a very long time. Democrats have been calling Trump, his supporters, all kind of names, right? But just a small thing she said triggered them to a level never seen before. You cannot actually know that things like this are painful if they reverse it to you. Now, these were just a small dose. If you see them melting like this, she hit the nail, right?
The president, it found a creative solution to keep the troops paid. And rather than congratulate the president for doing that, this unprecedented action to get our troops paid, the Democrats want to sue him for it. They're saying that it's illegal. This just shows they don't care about the people who are hurting. They are shutting down the government purely for partisan politics because they don't like Donald Trump.
Wait, they want to sue him for paying military members during a government shutdown. To every Democrat and liberal out there, why do you guys stand by this? So they're out here fighting for healthcare for illegals, but they want to sue the Trump administration for paying for military members' salaries during a shutdown. No, you know what? This isn't a shutdown. This is a hostage situation, because give us what we want or else. Shouldn't it be America first? Shouldn't we be worried about paying our military members, the ones who are out there keeping us safe? But no, they want to make sure that military members don't get paid. They are asking, well, where's all this random money from the tariffs coming from to keep the women and infant children's program open?
That is now what they're claiming. Take a look at this.
House Republicans shut the government down. Then they ran out of town. And for the last 3 weeks, they're nowhere to be found.
Hakeem out here spitting rhymes. You guys see it? What are we doing? Anyway, here's Bernie Sanders saying the quiet part out loud.
They have had months to negotiate. And you reopen the government, and we lose our leverage, and they say, well, you know, we want this, we want that. No, there has to be an agreement right now. That's what this whole shutdown is about.
So that's what it's about. Leverage. Democrats are using paying our troops, paying our federal employees, keeping the lights of the government on. They're using that as leverage to try to get their policy demands fulfilled. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. Republicans did not shut down the government. Democrats are desperate, and now they're voting against something that they voted before because they have no other form of leverage. Again, that's what it's about. This is the only leverage they have.
What does that need to look like before you would vote to reopen the government? Or is it commitment from the White House and Republicans enough?
No doubt.
I mean,
the president, you know, is a very honest man. And if he says something, man, you could take it to the bank.
So you're saying his word is not enough? Bankruptcy court.
His word? No.
So what do you need to see? What commitments from
I think we need to see ink on paper.
Like he said, this is the only leverage they have. So struggling to pull this stone is something I knew coming.
Funding another country's government, while we are not funding ours.
Democrat stupidity for 500, please, Alex.
Nevertheless, Trump's Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, just sent $20 billion U.S. taxpayer dollars to go fund the government of Argentina.
It was a currency swap facilitated by the U.S. It wasn't a cash handout or a grant. It was nothing more than a financial backstop to allow Argentina to exchange their pesos for U.S. dollars.
Please always share the videos. I'm called Ransom. That is my name. As of the short videos you sit behind, you can always earn. No need to watch that.
I think that we should have more Republicans on the show, but they don't want to come on. They're scared of us. It's like
history.
When I say I'm not going to be apocalyptic, he even gets an
If the Democrats shut down the government, Donald Trump takes advantage of the situation and begins to, I don't know, trim programs Democrats care about.
Because how many times somebody asks
for?
J.D. Vance should be the next president of the United States. If you want to serve in the American...
Give interviews, I don't do that.
J.D. Vance should be the next president of the United States.
happening at the moment.
Yeah. President Obama.
Is blatant censorship.
Because he says he has a team of fact checkers.
The FCC.
I want them to stop fooling around with my right to say what I feel.
Americans, it's a part of who we are.
Because that is really something that didn't happen before.
Does anybody else watch The View? Because I think there's...
I'm going to say one. Look, there are certain rules of free speech that we must all abide by. But in case anyone needs a refresher, we're going to go over the rules again.
He does not have a right to have a television show.
To spreading lies.
Somebody to get up there, not
all the same people that are in these polite...
Disagree with what Gavin Newsom said that he doesn't...
Dave Chappelle. He's not wrong.
I think that what she has done...
What do you disagree with out of interest?
Republicans have been appealing to